Pest infestation? Call Bugman, because when you see red, bugs are dead.
All right, today is Sunday, August 31st. We're going to do like a little recap real quick. I don't know if we'll do these every week or if I'll have time to do them every week, but had a little time today before the 3 o'clock game, the Tech game at 3, and then the night game with Miami. So just wanted to do a quick recap kind of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tell you what we kind of... what we saw, where we were right, where we were wrong, and just like a peek ahead. The lines aren't out quite yet, but they'll be coming out probably this afternoon. So Thursday, if you listen to the podcast or if you listen to the radio show, South Florida, we gave you South Florida and the under that 5.5, and mainly it was because I don't think Boise is as bad as they looked. Thursday, I think. Two things. One, Boise had to come across the country into hot, humid Florida. That's one. And two, USF is pretty good defensively. I mean, if you watched any of that game, they were very physical on defense. So I just thought the travel would play a little bit with Boise. So that's why we took them in the under. We got, we got that. We didn't get NC State. I mean, they had chances. They were minus 14. They won by 7. The quarterback, the Bailey kid, he looked okay, but I thought a little bit more we did get a little bit more from him. And then of course Nebraska, they played Cincinnati. I thought Nebraska come out a little lethargic too, so we didn't get that one. So we finished Tuesday 2-2. Friday we got Auburn against Baylor at Baylor. I just figured. Hugh Freeze, he had to win that game. If not, they were going to probably leave him down at the airport like they left Lane Kiffin. And then we took Western Michigan plus the points because it was 21.5 because it had moved up from 17.5 to 21. So we basically just went contrarian against everybody and took Western Michigan, and we won both of those. So Thursday, Friday ended up being pretty good if you listened. Saturday, not so good. I mean, we still got 2 games to go, so we can pull out a winning Saturday. But let's be honest, this past Saturday or yesterday was pretty tough when you look at the games. Because we're not just picking scumbag slouchy games, we're picking good games. So, where were we right? Where were we wrong? First of all. Before I go into that, let me just tell you, Big 12. If you're a Big 12 fan, you'll be happy to know that you were 8-0 Saturday, and you won by an average of 38.5 points. So if you're a fan of the Big 12, that's big because that's the first time in 40 years that a conference has done that. If you remember, if you listen to the Big 12 breakdown, you remember I told you there was like 5 or 6 teams that were right there in the mix to be pretty good, and I said they could probably steal a bid. They're going to get the 1, but they could probably steal a bid in the college football playoff, and that bodes well. And then, secondly, I would just say, like I said on Thursday, USF, watch them. Keep an eye on them as you go forward because defensively they were very physical. And, of course, they're in the Big 12. So, anyway, let's start with where we were wrong. Where were we wrong? Alabama. They looked awful. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, they had 87 yards rushing. They had 8 penalties. I'm not going to throw everybody under the bus after week 1, but that happened last year too. So I mean, to me, that's a little bit of coaching. Castellanos, he only threw the ball 14 times. 14 times. He was 9 for 14, and they ran up and down the field on Alabama like they were running track. So Alabama's got a lot to get fixed. I'm a little nervous there. I would say FSU. I mean, that was a big win for FSU. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to poo-poo it, but I would say also use some caution FSU because, I mean, sooner or later somebody's going to take away the run and make the kid throw. And, the question is, can he? Can he throw? The next place we were wrong was Utah. We went against Utah. We took UCLA. Now, we talked about they had the new quarterback and the offensive coordinator come in. We knew they're physical under Whittingham. But, man, let me just call it now. UCLA might be the first team looking for a coach. They might be the first team fired because they weren't very good last year. They came out and got destroyed yesterday, and then they still have, one heck of a Big Ten schedule ahead of them. So be careful with that. Texas, Texas just didn't look good on offense. Defense, they were great. They held. I mean, I know Ohio State fans are running around this morning talking about what they did, and that's great and all. But if I was an Ohio State fan, I'd also be worried that they didn't. You only had 215 total yards, and you won that game. Texas's defense is really good. We knew that going in. I said that in a couple of podcasts prior. I wouldn't. Texas is going to be fine. He just Arch Manning didn't look good, and running the ball they didn't look good, and quite honestly, they need a wide receiver other than the Wingo kid. All he is speed for him. So, from that standpoint, I would just say you're going to be okay. You'll be okay, Texas fans. Bad beats. Let me just tell you this. So we lost two. We lost 2 games that I put in our bad beats. Kentucky. We had Kentucky -9. They were winning. Kentucky was winning by more than 9 with a minute. We'll just say 2 minutes and 50 seconds, something like that, to go in the game. They let Toledo drive 95 yards, score a touchdown, and they won and Kentucky ended up winning by 8, not 9. So we lost by 1 there. Cuse, we took Cuse versus Tennessee. We took the 14 points. Syracuse was down 12 with 4:42 to go. They allowed Tennessee to score. Then they got the ball and went all the way down. They got to the goal line and had 3 attempts at the goal line, and on 4th and goal missed it with a minute and 15 seconds to go. So had they scored a touchdown there, we would have got the cover there too. So we'll have some of those. We'll talk about them. I don't know that they'll be the day after, but I just thought that was interesting. I jotted those down. Excuse me. Where were we right? LSU. Listen, Clemson's going to be fine. Clemson's going to probably win the ACC. I think they played well. I said it on Thursday on the radio. I posted the picks with my with my notes on there. And hey, look, LSU planned. They planned for this game versus Clemson. Look, I'm not saying Clemson didn't plan for it, but they specifically went out and got people on defense for things that Clemson did well. That's been noted. They've said it. It's not coming from me. So Clemson, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But LSU is going to be pretty good, I think. Nussmeier's really good. I would say they still didn't run the ball very well. That is something they got to work on. But everybody has to work on everything, something, right? Where we were right, UVA. I thought UVA played well. Everybody kind of had started hopping on Coastal there as a darling, -12. I think UVA pretty much controlled the game from start to finish. And listen, it's a Sun Belt team. They probably should. But if you're a UVA fan, you haven't been controlling those games in a long while. So if I'm a UVA fan, I'm happy that happened and optimistic with what we got going forward. My last one, Georgia Tech. I mean, I'll be honest, I was scared of this because everybody was hopping on it. I knew Georgia Tech had the better roster. I knew they had the better athletes. Colorado has recruited better than Georgia Tech the last couple of years, so I was a little scared of that too. Georgia Tech going, basically to the West Coast. Not all the way to the West Coast, but you know what I mean. I just thought that was a little scary, but they came out and just beat down Colorado. So, couple weeks, Clemson fans. Clemson goes to Atlanta to play Georgia Tech. That will be a very good game. So we got that to look forward to. Looking ahead, like this was the week. Like this is the big week. I mean, we knew that going in. I mean, I don't know that there's been a better opening week in terms of ranked opponents. We'll see. There's no Thursday games this week for the college football guys. Just keep that in mind. NFL, well, they're not they're opening this weekend. So Thursday, you have that Thursday game. Friday, you have JMU at Louisville for locals. That'll be a good game. Saturday, you got Illinois at Duke. Man, that's going to be like a heavyweight fight defensively because they're both very physical. Baylor at SMU. That's a rivalry. Baylor, basically got embarrassed a little bit this past week by Auburn. That'll be interesting. Excuse me. UVA goes to NC State. That'll be a good game. Michigan goes to Oklahoma. That's the big game. That's the big game next Saturday. That will be interesting. Michigan didn't show a whole lot. They didn't run Underwood. He's got good wheels. They didn't run him, and they didn't run him for a reason, I think. Obviously, we still have Virginia Tech tonight, but you have Vandy at Tech next week. That'll be a big game, depending on what happens. Either way, what happens this week with Virginia Tech? If they pull the upset, that'll be huge. With momentum coming in, and then if they fall short today, then they're going to be staring at 0-2 with Vandy coming in, like I talked about on the radio. So that'll be a good game. Iowa at Iowa State, big rivalry game there. Both won their first game. Actually, Iowa State's got 2 games now. So Arizona State at Mississippi State. Now this is where we're going to find out how legit Arizona State is. I mean, they won yesterday. They won the Big 12 last year. That's tough. They're going into an environment down there that's pretty good. It's an SEC environment. Mississippi State won yesterday. The Cowbells are going to be going, so that'll be a good game next week. And then Kansas at Mizzou. That is going to be a big game. That's kind of a rivalry game for up around there too. So that's really all I have. I just wanted to give some tidbits, like kind of where we were right, where we were wrong. Our bad beats. Everybody has them, but we had a couple. And then the look aheads for next week. So with that said, we'll catch you on Tuesday when we start dropping those podcasts. Thanks. Heathens Kettle Corn and Mobile Grill. You can find them at Dr. Pepper Park, local Roanoke events, and also now doing fundraising with teams, organizations, churches, etc. Find them on Facebook, Heathens Kettle Corn and Mobile Grill.